So good morning, everyone. We're here on a new episode with Claudia Aronowitz. Welcome.
Hello. So nice to be here with you, Elke.
Well, it's thrilling to be with you because finally getting together to put a little video for our audience. And the topic today are women and how both you and I work with women on different lanes, but there's something that kind of links our lanes, and that is the lack of time, the lack of clarity on your side, on the human side of things, and on my side, on the financial. So today, let's talk about how we can help women gain control of their life, because if they could do it alone, they would have done it already. So Claudia, please tell us a little bit about what you do.
So I help people in general find the clarity that they need to move forward and feel more joy and leadership in their lives, both at work and at home. And I'm a true believer, and I think that's what always brings us together, is that women, people in general, and women in particular, should feel empowered to take charge, to make decisions that help them feel and live a life that they desire, and that they don't have to be scared of making that choice, because they can get the information, they can find people that will support them, and they can really feel more fulfilled and in control. And it's time.
I agree 100%. So I think something you and I do very, very similarly is when we work with women, the first thing we want to understand is what are their values? What's the benefit of finding out what your values are?
That when you have to make a decision, if you know what's important to you, remember, values are the things that are important to you at a certain moment in your life, and they change over time. Not important to society, not important to what we should have been doing. Value is what it really is important to you. And when I can make a decision based on those values, there is integrity, there's groundedness, there's a sense of, okay, I know what I need to choose.
Yeah, and from my perspective on the financial side, when we know what's important to them, we first want to normalize the conversation about money. And we normalize the conversation about building flexibility into their plans. But what we stress is the importance of having a plan. And maybe a financial plan sounds like a daunting document, but it's really a roadmap that should reflect people's values. Not my values, not your values, but the person's values who's drafting the plan or who's going to follow the plan. When you deal, go ahead.
Can I interrupt you? Because I think there you just said something really important, which is if I have a financial plan, I'm basing my decisions not only on values, but in my reality. And in order to feel happier, to feel more fulfilled in life, it comes from being realistic also. It's like being optimistic and realistic really go hand in hand. And if I have my financial plan, which I did with you, and I am so happy that I did, is because now I know where I am. And from here I can decide, so what do I want to do? It's so much better to know than not to know. And we shouldn't be scared of money, of death, of life, because when we know, then we can make decisions that are more in accordance to what we need.
Yeah, and you also make me think about a very important point too. So many times, I mean, this conversation is more geared towards women, but so many times I've come across women who are absolutely burnt out at work. They don't like the environment, they don't like the demands, they don't like A, B, C, D, or E, whatever it is. And they're ready to quit. When we go through the planning process, we've enabled them to make a more informed decision, whether they can afford switching jobs, whether they should delay it, whether there's a hybrid they could envision. It's a conversation. It's not imposing a final permanent decision on someone just because that's what the rule of thumb is indicating to do. It's really, really customizing a decision based on values, circumstances, and realism. So when you work with, or when women approach you, what's the biggest barrier you hear from them to get started on a coaching program?
They don't know what to expect. They are sometimes they're scared to see what they're going to find out because it does take a lot of work and there's a lot of introspect. Sometimes they feel they can't afford it, although they go on vacations and they do other things, but they shouldn't invest in themselves. Investing in me is not what I'm supposed to do. I think women have a hard time just saying, I can invest in me because I deserve it. Because in order for me to keep on giving at work and giving to my family and giving, women tend to be very givers. They forget to bring themselves to the same level and say, I'm now investing in myself. Because if I need to know what I want, I need to figure that out. And I can't do it by myself. Financial planning and personal development, you can't really do it by yourself because we ask the same questions, we get the same answer. I see the same numbers. I don't even know what I'm supposed to be looking for. I don't even know how much I need for retirement. If I ask, what do I want? I get the same answer. But if I ask you a different question, you get different answers. And even if women leave a job or they don't leave a job, they can make changes that makes it like a new reality. And that's the amazing thing about the work we both do.
And it doesn't have to be complicated. To me, I like to use a lot of analogies because when it comes to your financial situation, for some reason it gets blurry and making decisions gets a little bit more complicated. But when it comes to your own plan, I think, generally speaking, people want to know that they won't outlive their savings, that they will be okay, that they and their family will be fine. And part of my quest and where I'm coming from is, if we really want to empower women to break the glass ceiling in a meaningful way, I think having a financial plan is a huge part of it, but also personal balance and working with a coach or someone who can show them the light, somebody who can show them that there's a different way of seeing things, or maybe asking different questions that will unearth different points of view. What do you think?
I think we're talking about the same thing, is that we want to help women not only think about when I think I have enough money, or when I will do that, I will start living my life and feeling better with it and feeling happier, is we're trying to tell them the journey in life is now. Know where you stand today. Know your finances today. Know your values today. Forget the shoulds and have tos that the society has said. Know yourself, know where you stand, and start feeling good about the journey that you're taking. Because if not, when are you supposed to be happy?
Yeah. Tomorrow. When the dog is walked, when the kid goes out of university, when. We don't know if there's going to be a when. So I get your point. Quick question, Claudia. Why did you get into coaching? What drives you?
I love deep conversations and helping people feel better with themselves. I think what drives me is I really want people to feel good in their own skin and feel good with themselves. And the other part is just helping them believe and know that they can make a difference in the relationships of how they talk to themselves and how they talk to others. When I see that little light in a client and I see them seeing themselves differently, I've done my job. That's why I wake up in the morning. I just want to contribute to other people's lives.
And you've done it with me. You've asked me certain questions that I'm like, oh, I hadn't thought about that. And I'm like, well, she's good. So Claudia, I think we're going to leave it at that for now. We have more topics and so many more things to talk about. We're passionate about what we do. We want to help people, and personally, I want to empower women financially to make decisions that affect them and indirectly other people, as opposed to just catching the impact of their decisions because they looked after someone else first and then themselves. It just that just leaves too much on the table. So Claudia, thank you so much. Let's catch up on this next episode, and feel free to share. How can people contact you?
Just go to my website, which they can see below, and just set a time for us to talk. No obligation of anything. Just let's talk. Let's talk about where you are, where you want to go, what's bothering you. And I promise you, you'll leave with something from our conversation. And forever who's here, Elke is not only my friend, but I decided to do the financial planning myself, and it's liberating. So don't wait too long.
Thank you. Okay, thank you everybody, and we will chat with you soon.